It is the summer of 1806, and your journey is on the Yellowstone River. As recorded in Clark's journal, cottonwoods lining its banks have become raw material for the Corps of Discovery.
July 20th. I have determined to have 2 canoes made out of the largest of those trees. Canoes of 28 feet in length, fully sufficient to take my small party and self with what little baggage we have down this river.
For the past 2 weeks, Captain William Clark and his partner, Captain Meriwether Lewis, have followed different routes in hopes of increasing the scope of your knowledge as the expedition's 2-year odyssey nears completion. Lewis, the frontier scientist, has led his group north to explore the Marias River, while Clark, the soldier, mapmaker, and self-taught physician, has taken your group southeast to explore the Yellowstone. The Corps will meet again where the Yellowstone joins the Missouri. On July 3rd, Clark begins his expedition across land toward the Yellowstone River. Among those with you are Charbonneau, the Shoshone interpreter, his wife, Sacagawea, and their 17-month-old son, Jean-Baptiste, whom Clark affectionately calls Pomp, his little dancing boy. Sacagawea brings your group quickly over uncharted territory.
July 13th. The Indian woman, who has been of great service to me as a pilot through this country, recommends a gap in the mountains more south, which I shall cross.
Crossing a gap in the mountains through what is known today as the entry to Yellowstone Valley has taken only 2 days. But when you reach canoe camp, Clark and your group encounter disaster.
July 21st. This morning I was informed that half our horses were absent. I am apprehensive that the Indians have stolen our horses.
Fearing further troubles, Clark orders Sergeant Pryor and 2 others to ferry him across the Yellowstone River to what is now Billings. Pryor will then take the remaining horses across land to the villages of the friendly Mandan tribe on the Missouri. Meanwhile, the rest of the group continues down the Yellowstone to a predetermined rendezvous with Lewis.
Set out on July 24th at 8 a.m. in 2 canoes tied together.
The following afternoon, Clark encamps close to a remarkable sandstone formation. It is known to the Crow as the place where the mountain lion lies.
This rock, which I shall call Pompeys Tower, is 200 feet high and 400 paces in circumference. From the top of this tower, I could discover 2 low mountains and the Rocky Mountains covered with snow.
Here, at Pompeys Pillar, named for Sacagawea's toddler son, Clark leaves the only lasting physical evidence of passage by the Corps of Discovery along the trail.
The Indians have made 2 piles of stone on the top of this tower. The natives have engraved on the face of this rock the figures of animals, near which I marked my name and the day of the month and year.
Captain Clark continues to record his observations, noting details of what is seen daily.
July 28th. The elk on the bank of the river were so abundant that we have not been out of sight of them today. July 29th. Coal in great quantities in the hills. August 1st, I was obliged to land to let the buffalo cross over. I was obliged to lay to for 1 hour, the other side of the island for more than 3/4 of an hour. August 2nd, about 8 a.m. this morning, a bear of the large, vicious species plunged into the water and swam toward us. We shot him with 3 balls, and he returned to the shore badly wounded.
Reaching the junction of the Yellowstone and the Missouri, where Clark had arranged to meet Lewis, you soon fall prey to another vicious species.
Mosquitoes excessively troublesome. The evenings, nights, and mornings they are most unendurable. The torments of those mosquitoes and the want of a sufficiency of buffalo meat induced me to determine to proceed on to a more eligible spot. Wrote a note to Captain Lewis, informing him of my intentions, and tied it to a pole which I had stuck up in the point.
On the second night after departing from Clark, night raiders strike again, this time stealing all the remaining horses from Sergeant Pryor. Left stranded, Pryor and his men kill 2 buffalo and use their hides to build 2 buffalo skin boats in the fashion of the Mandan tribe. They float down the Yellowstone and rejoin your group on August 8th. The river is your only means of travel. But Lewis has yet to arrive. Days pass without any sign. Finally, August 11th, Captain Lewis and his men are seen heading downriver.
I was alarmed on the landing of the canoes to be informed that Captain Lewis was wounded.
Lewis is recuperating from a gunshot to the thigh suffered in a hunting accident. As Clark tends to Lewis's mishap, the expedition finally travels further downriver. On the 14th of August, 1806, you reach the Mandan villages. And by the 23rd of September,
descended to the Mississippi and downriver to St. Louis. We suffered the party to fire off their pieces as a salute to the town.
With the conclusion of your journey comes the beginning of a new era. Clark perhaps knew this from the moment he stood atop Pompeys Pillar on the Yellowstone. Here, looking out to the great shining mountains, Clark likely sensed the destiny of a growing nation and the challenges yet to come.